inequitable treatment of our students.
Before my announcement, can I just remind people that masks are required in this building at all times? As you'll see it posted there, Mecklenburg County is under a mandatory indoor mask mandate.
There are exceptions, medical, behavioral.
Excuse me. It's not your turn to speak.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Parents get to go first.
Yep.
But it's been 2.5 hours. I got an email saying that the parents were going to get started at 7. It's 8:30 now.
All right.
That time limited?
Thank you very much.
2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Ms. Marshall?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Listen, we need to do our business. Please do not interrupt our business. The public needs to hear us say our business. All right?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And put trust into your district. Thank you.
Mr. Strain?
I recommend that we reinstitute the limits on the board member reports that we used to have.
Yeah, I agree.
And that we move the superintendent and board member reports to the back of the agenda where they used to be.
Thank you. My name's Anthony Baldwin. I'm 75 years old. I want to challenge every one of you to go back and watch the first 2 hours of this. In my lifetime, I've been to thousands of business meetings. I have never heard so many words spoken and nothing said. And nothing said. And you wear us out with this. No child should be judged by the color of their skin. I came here on behalf of my grandchildren. I want no one, CRT 1619 pedagogy, telling them that they're racist because of the color of their skin. I want no one telling any black child that there's a limit to their possibilities. Here is a man running our school system who didn't know anything. If he ever loses this job, they've got something for him in Washington. I'll get back to you. Were any of you prepared for this? Were any of you, did you review what was coming up? It's disgusting.
Lastly, I am shocked that we are in the government center and no adult here has the fortitude to enforce our countywide mask mandate. When adults can't follow the rules and adults choose not to enforce the rules, we are teaching our children that rules don't matter.
At least 15 guns in 45 days. Student punished for reporting sexual assault. Can you smell the white privilege sign? $25,000 paid for a speaker to tell us the only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. Student with assault charges plays football game with ankle monitor. Pornographic images used in middle school art assignment. Divisive political issues and sensitive sexuality issues being allowed in the classrooms. $50 million in COVID tutoring funds with no plan or growth metrics yet established, and we're 50 days into the school year. CMS has a leadership problem. Mr. Winston was interviewed by Glenn Perkins this past week, and they reminisced about their journalism days together. When are we going to have a leader who has at least been a principal? This is not the experience CMS should be looking for in a superintendent.
Past time for the change of guard. Being a journalist by trade does not qualify someone to run the 17th largest district in the country, one that is rapidly declining. If this were any other job, we would be fired. And we are asking now for Winston to resign and for the board to hold him accountable.
I'm a freshman at Hopewell High School, and I wanted to share my experience and so many others of how school has been so far. The other day we had a fight at school. Every day we have a fight at school, sometimes many fights, and as you know, multiple guns have been found from gangs and not from people who don't lock up their guns. Everyone I've talked to knows that. We've been on lockdowns more than I can count. I, as well as others, have dealt with racism, us calling us racist names, telling us we are the racist and the privileged, simply because we are white and they believe it's totally okay. We were told many times that this would happen if We've told you many times that this would happen if you focused on the wrong things and only caring about one group of students at the expense of others. I've been bullied and harassed both in school and on the bus for being white and having a mask waiver. The smell of pot fills the classrooms and halls, sometimes coming off the bags of students carrying, which we all know pot is being sold in our schools. It's unsafe, it's distracting, it's nearly impossible to learn. Why are we even at school if we can't learn? In a recent interview that I was given, I read that the leader of this board was asked, "Are our schools safe?" His reply was, "Our schools are safe, our schools are safe." Respectfully, it's clear that you haven't been paying attention and not watching the news. How would you even know if you weren't there? When was the last time you stepped inside our schools? When was the last time you spoke with parents or students? Until you do, you can't say they're safe. It's time for you to do something.
What Hopewell has had to deal with was not a direct reflection of Hopewell, it's a direct reflection of this leadership. As you heard from our daughter, our children are unsafe in the environment. Nothing has been done to keep them safe.
So parents in the room, it's clear that education is not the top of the mind. There needs to be a mass exodus from CMS until a leadership is replaced and this house gets in order. This place is a mess. There are so many issues, and there has to be something done with the leadership of this board. Thank you.
I suggest you start with an easy, achievable objective, such as the student test scores be 10% better than last year's. If they exceed the objective, say by 20%, give them a bonus. If they fail, move them out to pasture and replace them with someone with fire in their belly.
CMS is a $1.6 billion school district, yet the score is an F in student outcomes. And that was both pre and post pandemic. There was a 65% decline in math readiness scores for minority students in grades 3 through 8 last year. Only 10% passed grade level math. We come here and still no plan and no metrics. Mr. Winston says that our schools are safe. You know what poses a far more dangerous threat to students than COVID ever will? Guns and suicide. CMS routinely makes local and national headlines because we are steadily going from bad to worse. If this were any other business, the CEO and board of directors would be fired based on these results.
In addition to focusing on student outcomes, we need to figure out a solution to the elephant in the room. That's the gun problem that CMS is facing. What's being done about that? We hear reports of guns found in schools on a weekly basis.
I am pleading with you, halt all recommendations to parents concerning the vaccination of children under 12. Second, I'm asking you to ensure that no child is immunized by any agency, school nurse without the written consent of his or her legal guardian. And 3, not only is the current shot obsolete for the current strain, but guarded, giving this to our children is a gross dereliction of our duties. And if the German lawyers who are suing the World Health Organization, the FDA, and NIH are successful, it will be treated as criminal.